in the Quran.
Why do they sing? You know, they sort of sing the Quran. Why
They recite the Quran. The Quran is then recited in a way, so it's not an ordinary speech. It's a recital as well. So you recite
Because
in the
it's
way
a-
the Prophet taught us. There various reasons could be, because Allah is delivering this speech in a way that should resonate in your heart. So you can actually feel and experience the tone and the rhythm and the neatness all within you as you read and recite. So the delivery, the way it's delivered also has an effect. Not the content itself, but the form of delivery,
So if do you recite the Quran?
which we will try to recite, yes.
You do it.
Yeah, every Muslim who learns, they learn to recite. So even if you haven't learned the language itself, what it means, Muslims all around the world, without knowing what the word means, we all try to learn to recite.
What does it give you? What does that give you? Why do you do that?
Okay. Now, I can't explain it to you. Perhaps
Sorry,
I can.
sorry.
No. Perhaps this is an experience one needs to have. If I were to recommend you to listen to a recitation, you can undergo this experience. Many people have done that. So you listen to a reciter reading the Quran, and you immerse yourself in this recitation. You may not know anything of the meaning, but just watch and look at the transformation it has internally within you by listening to it. Even by listening to the Quran without knowing its meaning, it has an effect.
It sort of sings inside. It sort of resonates inside you.
It will resonate inside you, because Allah knows how best to deliver His message. So He chose a language, Arabic, other than any other language. He chose a particular way of delivering this other than just normal speech. He could have just given the speech of the soothsayers, the speech of the Arab poets, but he chose to give it in a speech that is totally unlike any of their speech.
So when they do the calling people to prayer, is that the Quran, and is that to touch people's hearts, or what's
When
it?
you listen to the call to prayer, it's an adhan. The adhan is just a form of calling in a way of calling people rather than ringing the bell or shouting. Yeah, so that's it. But of course, even calling, like "Hayya 'ala salah," it also somehow affects you to like, okay, let me go to prayer.
Spiritual.
It invites you. Okay? I mean, I
It
don't know how
prepares you
to.
for-
I don't know how to do adhan like the muadhin. But when you listen to it, you feel inside. But the Quran is such that when our Prophet ﷺ taught us to recite, in fact, the recitation, he is only following. He is only following that what has been taught. He didn't introduce it. Jibreel alayhi salam, the messenger of revelation, the angel who taught how to recite from Allah, and he followed. Allah says, وَرَتِّلِ الْقُرْآنَ تَرْتِيلًا. So recite the Quran with this recital, tartil, the form of recitation. Allah says in the Quran Himself, إِنَّ عَلَيْنَا جَمْعَهُ وَقُرْآنًا فَإِذَا قَرَأْنَاهُ فَاتَّبِعْ قُرْآنًا. To Allah is the gathering of the Quran and its recital. So when the Quran is recited, follow its recital. Okay? So this Quran is also taught even how to recite the Quran. So when you listen, in fact, it's an opportunity for everyone in this month, the blessed month of Ramadan, where you can go to a mosque around sunset and you will see they are reciting the Quran aloud in congregation.
Why?
So this month we recite the Quran more. This is how the Prophet ﷺ, our Prophet, he prayed this prayer in this month, congregational prayer, and asked us to pray likewise, reciting the Quran. So throughout the centuries, it has been a custom for the Muslims to recite the entire Quran in this month. Entire Quran from beginning to end. In most countries, in most of the mosques. So if you go to, say, Regent's Mosque, or go to East London Mosque, any mosque nearby, you can hear the imams, the qari, a reciter, recites the Quran, and he recites the Quran with this articulation of recitation and melody. And you will really appreciate in your heart this Quran, even if you don't understand it. So if you live nearby, wherever you are, go and visit a mosque in this month. So after sunset, they break the prayer, and about an hour or later, roughly, they will start the night prayer called Taraweeh prayers, Salat al-Taraweeh or Salat al-Qiyam, in which they will recite the Quran in congregation.
Can I just ask one more question? You know, when the Bible was sort of translated into English, they reckon that it changed the way that people spoke and expressed themselves. Is that the same with the Quran? Did it have an enormous effect upon language across Arabia? Did it?
In fact, the earliest Muslims recognized the importance of preserving the Arabic language, the language of the Quran. They did not just translate the Quran in various forms when the need arose. They made sure the Quran is always recited and always read and always taught in Arabic from day one. Never has a time come the Quran was left from the community where the Quran was not read and recited in the Arabic language, the language of the Quran.
Has that Arabic changed over the centuries?
Arabic language has evolved in various dialects and various forms in modern times, but the Quran has been preserved in its language. How did they do that? Is by preserving and writing and preserving dictionaries earlier on. So we have a dictionary called Kitab al-Ain by Al-Farahidi, one of the earliest dictionaries ever written. What the Quranic words mean. Likewise, many dictionaries have written, so you can't say this word means this when we know what it meant then. So the language has been preserved. So they made sure that not only the Quran was preserved, but the linguistic tool to understand the language is preserved side by side as well. That is why people still today can speak and learn the language of the Quran, called the Arabiyyat al-Fusha, the Fusha Arabic.
So you're speaking a language that's, you know, when you recite the Quran, you're speaking a language that's 1400 years old? And you understand it as word for word?
So you would want to. Not everyone who haven't learned the language would know. But if you have learned, you would know.
If you know Arabic,
that's why the Quran translators, when they translate, they will tell you this word can also mean this and this and this and this. Because in the English or any other languages, the translation cannot do justice to the Arabic term it is. Because a term can encompass so many different meanings. For example, Allah says He is Al-Ghani. Al-Ghani can mean, in our normal language now, someone who's rich. But actually, Ghani encompasses someone who is free from all wants. Al-Ghani means the one who is free from any wants. He has no need, no wants. Al-Ghani is rich in such that he has no need for anything. But I have to explain and express in so many different words just to translate this meaning, Al-Ghani. So, languages often suffer from these difficulties to express from its original language that it's been translated from. So the Quran has been then transmitted with commentaries or exegeses,
which keep it in line.
Which tells you the various meanings that it encompasses, even within the Arabic language. So commentaries in Arabic language as well, explaining to the linguistic meaning of the words. But we are rest assured what the Quran means to us, because the language has been conveyed to us within this transmission of the Quran. Quran transmission and the linguistic transmission. But language evolves. To give you an example, the Quran uses in the story of Surah Yusuf about sayyara. If I'm not mistaken, in Surah Yusuf, the sayyara. If you ask any Arab now what's a sayyara, he says it means a car or a taxi. Sayyara means a car, a transportation. Yeah? But sayyara then meant a caravan. A caravan.
Transport of some sort,
a caravan. But we know it means a caravan because we have this meaning preserved. But the modern language, modern form of the language may have changed. That's why there's always distinction between modern Arabic and classical Arabic. Classical Arabic of the Fusha, of the Quran, and the classical texts, and modern Arabic that people speak and they converse in every day. there is this distinction, and they remain side by side.
Thank you very much.